Oh, hey there. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, Tarot and Astrology fans, stars. You guys are awesome. And by the way, that song right there is one of the songs that I'm going to be coming out with real soon. I'll let you guys know when that happens, and I'll give you guys the link to that platform. Okay, so this reading right here is going to be a reading for November 14th to the 30th for Libra. So let's see what Source has for you guys. So I'm going to start off with the Fairies Oracles. I'm going to read every card. All right. And let's see what comes out. All right. So the Laume in reverse for the thoughts or spirit base. I'm using CBT in this as well. It's cognitive behavioral therapy. It's something that I learned in psychology courses. So I'm, going ahead and doing that kind of thing there. All right, so the Laume, just right off the bat, it deals with giving and receiving. So something has to do with giving and receiving. This has to do with the spiritual aspect, or rather the thoughts in terms of CBT. So let's see. All right. We also have the Singer of Courage that is in the reverse. That is the feelings based, or rather we should say this is more of like the mind and emotional aspect, right? And let's see what else we have for you today, Libra. Let me see. Lasguna in the reverse. All right, so all of these cards came out in the reverse. We're gonna go ahead. Oh, okay. And then at the bottom of the deck is the Singer of Healing in the reverse. All right, so if I'm taking a look at this, the Lasguna card is mostly about, like, taking a leap of faith. It's about not really like sitting too long on various different situations. Notice that both of these cards, and I'm gonna turn them both right side up so you guys can see them. They're sitting, right? So maybe there's a lot of Libras out there that have been sitting on various different opportunities or situations, when really the boundary between giving and receiving, as is the card of the Laume, and Las Gunas, it's both are cards of there's like a longing to them. Las Guna, we'll have to read up on that one because I can't really remember too much on that card. And the Laume is about giving and receiving unconditionally. Now, I feel that some of you Libras have been blocking that need, or that ability for, the universe to give you various different blessings that could be sent to you. So let's go ahead and look at the book. We'll go ahead and look at the Laume in the reverse, because that one really calls out. Number 30. Fairy Guides and Guardians. Okay. That's what we're dealing with the Laume. Okay, so unconditional giving, unconditional receiving. So she is the Laume in the same way that the MacGregor is the chief of the clan of the MacGregor. The Laume of all Laumes. The Laume is a charitable soul in the old sense of the word charity, which is loving and giving. She knows the joy of giving without expectation of return. From practicing this ourselves, we learn that there's always a return, often from the least expected source. So, that's one thing that the energy of giving and receiving can actually do for us in the future. So, the universe likes to keep its accounts up to date, and the Laume's job is to encourage us to keep the credit side of our cosmic accounts balanced by freely giving. We have been given the earth, the sun, the stars, and the moon, and we have been given trees and flowers and things to eat and a multitude of prospective friends. It's going to take a considerable amount of generosity to come into balance with all those gifts we have already received. I guess, in a sense, they're right about that. When we fall out of balance in what we give and what we receive, we can have constipation or diarrhea of the spirit. Spiritual constipation makes us toxic and bloated and unable to deal with more intake. Spiritual diarrhea makes us energetically depleted, limp, and needy. The spiritual forms of these particular malfunctions are entirely a result of our choices. Our balance about balancing our giving and receiving. You may think you have it right, but if things are not going well for you, the Lao may suggest you think again. Let's see. If you are pushing at something, it can often help greatly just to back off. Relax about it and let the energy flow. And if at the same time you back up from your efforts, you put energy into the universe elsewhere, then energy just naturally has to flow back to you in the most appropriate and generous form. The universe also has to keep its accounts balanced. Studying the Laume picture, a discussion group member wrote, quote, "The Laume is still bugging me. She looks passive but watchful. I think she feels that this giving business needs a bit more explanation." So I'll go ahead and hold up the card because I felt like it's necessary. So it's about being ready to do that sometimes quite small thing just when it's needed. A pinch of fairy dust in just the right place at just the right time works wonders. But big clouds of fairy dust just makes everyone sneeze. This is true, and sometimes a small bit of helpfulness now prevents a big need later. And sometimes a big thing is needed right now from the beginning. Another oracle reader noted that the Laume's wings looked a bit tattered and wondered if this indicated that it is sometimes appropriate to give until it hurts. Yes, it is, the Laume says, not as a habit, not as a sort of martyrdom, but only on the rare occasions when it's truly needed. So, if we take the energy or the explanation of the Laume and we think about giving and receiving, then it's not just all the time that we should give. It's not all the time that we should receive. Really, sometimes sacrifices are necessary, but it shouldn't be all the time, and it shouldn't be only just you, right? Compromises are that way. Uh, Eating some hot Cheetos. Mm. Mm. So, the Laume, since it came, yeah, since it came in the reverse, it's saying, ask yourself if you have been giving too much, and it's time to stop and attend to your own needs for a little bit. Alternatively, ask yourself if you have been refusing to receive the bounty of the universe flowing through the Laume's hands just because it wasn't in quite the form that you expected or because it was from a different source than you wanted it to be. Sometimes we put restrictions on receiving. For example, we may feel that the approval and love has to come from one specific person, or all the other approvals and love is without value to us. If so, we need to learn to accept what comes from any source as coming from a loving universe blessed by the Laume's hands. Ooh, that's a very deep message. Now, I feel that some of you need courage in that area, right? A lot of you may not really feel like you deserve it, but if you really think about it, whatever it is that you've given to the universe has come back to you in some type of form. And it's rare, it's rarely ever that you will ever feel like it's not necessarily for you, but everything's necessary for you. Everything happens in the time that it needs to happen, and it happens for you, either for you to learn a lesson or for you to I guess, bask in the glory or the greatness of whatever that gift was that the universe is receiving or returning back to you. So let's look at the Singer of Courage in the reverse. Um, to get to understand what the feelings are for Libra. And by looking at number 8, the Singer of Courage, it's about bravery. It's about sublimation of fear, or, giving up the energy of fear. And it's about building moral strength. So, someone once said that courage is not the absence of fear, but that which enables us to experience fear and not be stopped by it. That means being able to understand what fear is, but not being paralyzed by it. It's also what enables us to do what we believe to be right, even when there is pressure from others around us to do otherwise. That's true courage as well. Um, it is what enables us to go ahead into the unknown or the perilous, where there are no guarantees or safety or security. In our lives, we are often even constantly confronted with a new world, a new way of being in the world, a new way of seeing and being seen. Ordinary living takes courage, and to rise above the ordinary into the extraordinary takes even more courage. One of the keys to courage is to consider the fear and find a way to let the energy of the fear itself power the action. That's true courage. So, within each of us, there is a terrified inner mouse, and there is the brave inner hero. Either part of us can take over from one, or either part of us can take over from the other. We get to choose which is in charge. The mouse is a magician with only one trick. It can cast an illusion that is as big as an elephant. Then fear nearly overwhelms us, but we still have the choice. Learning to live with and manage the reactive animal within involves transforming emotions like rage and fear into courage through self discipline and the help of the Singer of Courage. So, at the bottom of the deck was a Singer of Healing. Now, part of it has to do with building your courage, within the ability to give and receive, and to understand when the universe is giving you something from a different source. So, since this card was in the reverse, it's saying that when the song of courage has grown faint and we feel overcome by fear and self doubt, the questions we need to ask ourselves begin with, what am I really afraid of? Then, quite often, deep soul searching enables us to discover that our true fears are hidden behind our false fears. It is impossible to face false fears because they are merely shapeshifters and shadows without substance, continually changing form. Facing our fear or facing a real fear is much easier because it doesn't keep changing the rules or moving the goalpost. The question then becomes, what can I do to open my heart to courage so when I feel fear, I can follow through on what I need to do? As an Oracle group member wisely suggests, another question to ask is, what else is present? She notes, when fear of any kind arises in the mind, more space is allowed in the heart if one acknowledges the fear while at the same time looking for whatever else besides the fear is also there. Thus, neither ignores nor gives too much focus to the fear itself, and more space opens up within which the fear can be explored and liberated. So, exploring the fear, whatever fear that is, and understanding when to properly receive from the universe can actually help release you from fear. And, um, well, let's see what the Laume is about, and we'll actually find out what all this is. 39. All right, so the Laume not Laume, Lasguna. Sunken treasure, discovery of self, adventure. All right, so this is a discovery of self for you guys. You guys are meant to be soul searching, to be searching within yourself, and to understand who you are. That's actually been the goal over the last 2 weeks. I feel like it's still continuing for you, Libra. Okay, so Lasguna, or at least the realm of Lasguna, the Frog Queen, is extensive, both below and above the waters. Fairy waters are made up of human emotions, sometimes beautifully clear and sparkling, and sometimes disgustingly murky. Different fairies are attracted to different waters. You could hardly expect to find the Soul Shrinker or Gluminous Doom happily splashing in clear, sparkly waters, although you might find Nellie the alchemist at a murky pool holding her nose as she waves a clarifying wand over it. Most of the bright fairies avoid such places. However, Lasguna knows that there are treasures, lost in disasters or abandoned by pirates, to be found in the murkiest of waters. Exploration is what this card is all about, and through exploring and seeing what we really are, warts and all, Lasguna would like you to know that she doesn't have any warts. Um, we discover parts of our talents and potentials that have been hidden by old traumas and misunderstandings. So there's certainly something magical here going with Las Guna and with the Singer of Courage, the Singer of Healer. You know, all of these cards appearing are there for a reason. We're going to go ahead and clarify with the Rider to our weight after we finish reading this. So if we are understanding that there's talents and potentials hidden behind traumas and misunderstandings, and also behind these lacks of opportunities, Las Gunas explorations are not limited to the realm of the emotions, but also include the world. So emotional and physical aspects. Um, she wants us to dive deeply into new experiences, and even if these new experiences involve flying high, listen to different styles of music with open ears. Try new taste. Look at new sights and try them all with the open willingness of a child. She especially wants us to explore new ideas. Have you ever noticed how people tend not to explore the territory they live in? How they only visit the special places where their excuse me. How they only visit the special places there when they are out trying to entertain someone from out of town. We do the same thing with so many aspects of our lives, and then sometimes we grumble that life is dull. Life is always adventurous for adventurous people and boring for boring people. So she told. So if we're looking at Lasguna and we see it in reverse, then we have to ask ourselves: Are we bored? Are you bored, Libra? So tired of the same old thing? The question you have to ask yourself is: Are you boring or as well as bored? The message here is to try the things suggested above, um, or invent your own thing. Takes pity. Basically, if you're in a stuck state of mind, it's so much more fun to jump than to be pushed. So when you think about Lasguna in the reverse, it's time to try something new. And that's actually what's being called for here. Usually, when you jump into something new, you activate a sense of courage that normally you wouldn't have within you. Just come out naturally, unless you're actually actively pushed by the universe. The universe will give you the motivation you need in order to get things done. Mm. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and clarify this with the Rider Tarot weight. All right, let's see what comes out. Let's see what comes out for Libra. I actually got pretty good explanations right here so far. All right, so it's time to release old memories. There might be some people that are in your circle, maybe that are old friends that maybe in some way, shape, or form are keeping you stuck. Maybe mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually. This seems to suggest that it has to do something emotionally because of these cups, but we'll see. That six, you know, we'll see what that six is about too. Ooh, so it requires. It has to focus on a situation that needs a decision. Um, the decision lies actually in the feeling space, so emotional. This is some obviously this is a decision that requires courage to make. Let's see what else we draw. Yeah. So basically, in order for you to make a judgment, I feel like there's various different. Okay, so it has to do with maybe something that didn't work out. It didn't bring as much abundance as you figure you may. Okay, so it didn't bring as much abundance as you figure it should have. I feel like this has to do with expectations that weren't met in some type of way. But I feel that the universe is trying to show you that it is trying to return it to you. You're just too closed off, and you're not accepting it. Now, I feel like in some way, shape, or form, Libra is still gonna make a judgment regardless. Maybe not entirely. There is gonna be a judgment made though, and this judgment has to do with healing, but it also has to do with understanding that there is abundance. It just, we have to understand what that abundance is, what form that abundance is coming in. So let's go ahead and draw some animal spirit cards for you, Libra, to see what this energy is. And so on the physical realm, or rather in the actions department, a decision will have to be made. This decision will be led to renewal, but that decision is based on whether you want something new or not, Libra. If you want something new, then something new will come in, and that is surely written in the cards, technically. I mean, you got the Two of Swords reversed, sitting over the Singer of Courage. You got Judgment sitting over Lasguna. So that right there, that is the decision that's based off of courage, which is based off of trying something new. And then being open to whatever the universe has to give you in return. Obviously, it's going to be better than what you expect. So that is what the universe is trying to teach you, Libra. Let's see what the universe has for you for the animal spirit card. Gazelle, yes. All right, so there are certain things that are coming to a close. I feel like whatever this cycle that you've been in, this cycle maybe of depression, anxiety, maybe you've been on high alert, maybe the fear of failure is keeping you on high alert. Yeah, so there's definitely something of a mirroring fashion that the universe is showing you. It's showing you that when you are anxious, it's showing you that when you are when you have that energy of like thinking that, oh, there's something positive that's going to happen, but there's always going to be something negative to offset it. That kind of energy. You see, there's no need to be stuck in that energy, because with this bear energy, which is the card that I was going to draw another card, but that card came flying out. That's the energy that you should be encompassing. The energy of the bear is the energy that allows us to understand that there's new beginnings. New beginnings. Sometimes the energy might be slow. We're gonna go ahead and read the book to find out some more information on the gazelle and the bear. We'll start with the bear first. Actually, we'll start with the gazelle first. All right, so the gazelle is about heightened awareness and ability, and about being vulnerable. So the gazelle represents supreme grace. With every move, this awe-inspiring beauty emits sophistication and elegance. Gazelle personalities are often hyper-aware of their surroundings, bordering on hypervigilant, and this can inhibit them from enjoying the beauty they've spent so much effort cultivating. No more worrying about all those predators out there in the wild. When this card appears, it's time to get back to the present moment. Sit down, find your breath, acknowledge the bounty that surrounds you, let it nourish your gentle spirit. So, when you have this gazelle energy in balance, you're graceful, perceptive, and artistic. Any of you guys having food allergies, insomnia, and a racing mind? Well, you guys are out of balance. And to bring it back into balance is either yin yoga, a cozy home, and good food. So, try to connect to the energies of Venus. That will help you in cultivating this gazelle energy, but at the same time, learning how to be graceful and things like that. Try something graceful like eating cheese and wine. Cheese and crackers. Drinking with your pinky up. Things like that. Try doing something like that to get yourself to feel more elegant. All right, now we go back to the bear over here, waking from spiritual slumber and beginning anew. So, after a long winter, the bear arises from deep slumber, and the first movement and effort are difficult, but the bear knows it's time to awaken and move towards the dawning light. The bear card represents an individual on the cusp of new directions and personal transformation. So, there was a recording that I made that was talking about the same thing with the singer of transformation that I was doing for Libra. I never got that reading out. However, I may put it out there just as a bonus to you guys. So, um, the initial weeks and months of this spiritual quest may feel tricky, cumbersome, and full of obstacles, but you have no choice, bear. Winter wanes, the warmth of spring emerges, and your transformation begins. So, as you start to, you know, uh, exit from this feeling of like withdraw from the world, and I know you Libras have been withdrawing from the world, lethargy, the creaks and groans of your bones and stuff like that, and like just a general heaviness of your body. Don't worry, that's all gonna like lift. Just get yourself moving, get yourself going. Um, Movement exercise is what the bear requires in order for you to bring it back into balance, right? So movement, yoga, breathing exercises, qigong, those are all things that could be done. When you feel that you're in balance, you're gonna have this sense of inner strength, and you're gonna have this yearning to grow. So with that, I will go ahead and roll some of the die here to see what's going on as far as the energy goes. And let's choose the signs, right? All right, so Gemini with some Aries energy, some Taurus, and some Cancer. Okay, so what's going on within these next 2 weeks? It's a lot of soul searching, a lot of memory shifting, memory uh, a lot of memory movement, a lot of emotional movement, moving energies here and there. With the energies of Gemini, there's a lot of communication. Now, don't be aggressive with that communication, but do be assertive. The best way to go into it is to understand what you're discussing. Understand that there needs to be care. So small talk if necessary, then get into the deeper subjects. Understand what the person is talking about too. Be attentive to what their values are, because at the same time that shows what your values are as well. So we're gonna go ahead and roll a planet. Jupiter. All right, Libra. So the energies of Jupiter are within you right now. The energies of Uranus. Let's go ahead and look at the planets right now and see where they are. Let's see what Uranus has to say about all of this. All right, so the energy of Uranus is in Taurus. All right, cool. So, all right, so the energy of Uranus and Taurus. Um, hmm. Uranus and Taurus, it's asking us to really express what our values are, to do it in a big way. And of course, you have Jupiter right here, but you also have the sun, so the expression. Um, the best way to do it is to basically follow what your spirit and what your soul tell you. You know, it's not just about the heart and the mind together, but it's about what spirit tells you as well. Usually, those two things will be in line, and usually, those two things will be um, for your highest good. Let's just put it that way. And then the rest of everything that's left over is Plutonian energy. That's Pluto and Capricorn energy. So for Libra, that would be, let me see, second, third, that would be in your fourth house. There's an emphasis of energy that needs to be authentic. There's energy that needs to be um, basically for the highest good of building whatever it is that you have at home. For those of you who have kids, that means the family, and that means building up the family. Um, let's see. The energy of Aries means that you may have to be assertive in some instances, but the energy of Cancer is really the right way to go. The energy of Aries is just more of like an ascendant type of thing, an ascendant type of energy to encompass. Now, follow your intuition, Libra, because the number 11 is hinting that as you follow your intuition, there's various different things, various different chapters, various different cycles in your life that complete themselves. Be aware of angel numbers because those angel numbers will tell you a lot that you need to know. Now, following your intuition will lead you to a lot of intuitive notions, a lot of intuitive messages. It's going to lead you to a lot of different intuitive and spiritual factors that are going to be playing a part in your decisions in the future. Not just within these next 2 weeks, but also beyond that, moving into the month of December. The number two is also talking about balance, and that balance is going to come through your analysis of various different things. Um, Make sure you pay attention to the differences between your ego and your intuition, because as you express yourself right now, that's going to be your actual true expression. And then as those voices come in, don't pay attention to those negative ones, because those negative ones are the ego based ones. Um, just be attentive to wherever the love or energy of love comes from, the energy of compassion, the income. Like, let's say for instance, when if this has to do with income as well, then understand that it's going to come from various different sources, not just the one source that you think it would come from. So with that, let me see. We have Cancer. Let's see what's going on in Cancer. Cancer is in your 12th, 11th, 10th house. There's not really anything going on there. Let's see. Yeah, pay attention to your values, and pay attention to your expression, because your values are going to be rooted through your um, they're going to be rooted through that area, that route. Your actions are going to show it. Your words are going to show it. So pay attention to those two things. Let your intuition let your intuition guide you onto the things that you need to pay attention to. All right. Yeah, with that being said, there are going to be things that do come to an end, but don't be discouraged by them. These things are for your highest good, Libra. So with that being said, if you guys feel like you resonated with this, go ahead and hit that like button. Share it with anybody who you think can benefit with this. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button if you like these videos, and hit that notification bell so you get the notification for these videos. For all of the other videos that I'm going to do for the signs, I will be doing these live. So, but for the month of December, I'm actually going to record them before that, and I'm also going to be putting that video together, you know, intro and all of that. So, with that, you guys take care. This is David with Tarot and Astrology for All, and you guys have a great day. Ciao.